Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Matt Doolittle. Well, can you hear the roar of the T-Rex? Well, what about the ripples of a pool of water followed by the screams? That can only mean one thing. The big girl is back. No, I'm not talking about Scarlett Johansson. Okay, well, maybe her too.
These dinosaurs were too dangerous for the original park.
Please don't say they're raptors. They're raptors.
The worst of the worst were left here.
Come on! Duncan!
We put ourselves in a place we don't belong. Survival is a long shot.
Joining us to talk about the science behind the most anticipated movie of the year, Jurassic World Rebirth, are Beth Shapiro and Ben Lamm of Colossal Biosciences. In Jurassic World Rebirth, dinosaurs are brought back bigger and badder than ever. So how close are we in real life to de-extincting creatures?
Pretty far
Pretty
from
far.
dinosaurs.
Pretty far from dinosaurs. We get this question all the time. DNA starts to degrade pretty quickly, and so Colossal, is the world's first de-extinction company in real life. The oldest DNA that we are working with is about 1.2 million years old. To our knowledge, there's no DNA out there. We don't want to ever say never, but there's no DNA out there probably for dinosaurs since they died off 65 million years ago. And so,
most dinosaur remains have actually turned into rocks, and there's no more DNA in rocks, which is why we're focusing on things that went extinct more recently. But it also means that there are ecosystems that these animals can be reintroduced into, and we're developing technologies that we could use to stop living species from becoming extinct. So we can think about dinosaurs, and we would love to think about dinosaurs.
And we get a lot of feedback when we say dinosaurs are most likely not in the cards, except on the big screen.
Yeah.
So in the movie, genetic engineering gets wild, literally. What's the real science behind gene editing that could one day bring back an extinct species or teens who don't have cell phones in their hands?
Well, I would say that we're pretty good since we already have dire wolves that have been brought back to life. We have 3 dire wolves, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi. Romulus and Remus are about 9 months old. They're around 100 pounds now, so bigger than the biggest gray wolves that are out there. And we use the tools of genome editing. We used ancient DNA to sequence genomes from dire wolves that lived 13,000 and 72,000 years ago, and computers to identify what DNA changes made dire wolves unique compared to other wolves, and then genome engineering to edit 20 edits into cells of gray wolves and animals that are larger and more muscular and stronger and have this iconic light-colored, really thick coat that dire wolves had when they were still alive, and they're alive today.
Yeah, I would say that we went from a 73,000-year-old skull and a 12,000-year-old tooth and made puppies. So the technologies are here. Once again, you do need source material, so there isn't, to our knowledge, dinosaur source material. But I think that from a genome engineering and a computational biology perspective and an ancient DNA perspective, we have the tools to bring back many extinct species.
So what ethical guardrails do you think we should have in place in the real world for de-extincting, animals and synthetic biology?
Yeah, so it's a great question. We spend a lot of time, thinking about this, and there's an entire matrix of should we bring back the animal? Can we bring back the animal? What do indigenous people groups think of bringing it back? What is the cultural implications? Can we, are any of the technologies on the path to bring back the animal going to help like a sister species or help the world? And so what does the ecology look like? Can they survive now? Can they help the environment? So we actually have this pretty robust matrix that we put all of the decisions that we make when we go to pursue a species, right? And it's pretty collaborative. We work with 15 of the top universities around the world and 40 postdocs in additional universities. And then we have 95 scientific and cultural and environmental advisors all around the world. And so we really try to build this kind of consortium of collaboration to really get that feedback. And then we also have a chief ethics officer that helps us kind of, be the steward of some of these decisions. So there's a lot that goes into it. We don't just wake up and say, oh, we got mammoth DNA, we should make a mammoth, right? So we try to be pretty thoughtful about it.
Right.
So the scientists in Jurassic World always seem to lose control. I mean, it's just kind of the theme of these. How does your team ensure safety and containment when working with ancient DNA, or is it more Jurassic, whoa, then Jurassic, go.
And you have to remember that when we bring them back, it's not that we bring them back and then immediately just release them into the
that's a good
wild.
point,
We
yeah.
care very much about the health and the safety of these animals and the ecosystems. And so our dire wolves right now are living on an expansive, secure ecological preserve where we can watch how they interact with each other, how they age, what their health span and lifespan is like. And we get to learn about any impact that they're going to have to the ecosystem well before they're rewilded.
Hey, for more on Jurassic World Rebirth, head over to our website, dailyflashshow.com.